So let us begin the topic number 3 on the philosophy of deduplication. So in fact, let us together familiarize ourselves with the philosophy of deduplication, explained with a real example of a virtual client named Client X. So let's assume it's a B2C customer and we are given 27 features or variables, out of which at least 4 or 5 features are both significant and reliable for conducting effective deduplication.
The scope of this presentation is limited to the philosophy of deduplication, shared among the likes of IBM, Informatica, Marchi, and especially Dedupe.ai, to be more specific. It is not the philosophy of any individual. So there exists newer and more powerful techniques, most of which empowers machine vision and cognitive AI today, which are not going to be covered here. Those techniques deal with thousands of features or variables to be able to represent collective cognitive perception as close as possible. But the irony is, the success of a great deduplication engine is finally judged by human common sense, which goes beyond the highest faculty of an individual's cognitive capability and belongs to collective common cognizance, which makes it even harder to represent even with lakhs of variables. So let's acknowledge the fact that though Client X has provided 27 features, only 4 fields have been found to be reliable after profiling. If I order them in decreasing order of reliability, then the order should be last name, first name, date of birth, and SSN number or SIN number for US and Canada respectively. So our previous statement clearly implies that machine learning cannot alone cover the full spectrum of a good deduplication engine with the limited number of features. But how much can be covered with only 4 reliable fields? The answer is, it is not always so hopeless as it seems. Looks like 50 to 60% can be achieved with 70% confidence in this case.
So that's it. We're lousy at statistics. Humans are lousy at statistics. All right. So don't let that gut feel thing get in your way of learning how to be really good at analyzing things and making really good, accurate predictions about what to do and how to move forward in terms of improving things.
Statistics is always inbuilt in AI, so it might overpower human common sense, even with less number of variables. So the next natural question arises. If AI could achieve 70% with only 4 variables, then how many more to achieve 100%? To attain anything more than that, we need hundreds of variables and loads of training with a lot of data. Law of diminishing return applies here. For example, if you want 80% confidence, you will need 150 variables. If you need 90% confidence, you will need 650 variables. So where are we getting these estimates from? Well, by applying opinion poll on a smaller qualified sample. So few of us may not know that opinion poll is a statistical technique which allows you to predict certain outcomes of an actual population without trying on the full data. So in the case of Client X, the maximum generalizable, automatable, and learnable portion of overall deduplication process can be estimated at around 60 to 65%. Since it is limited by the number of features or fields made available to us, and also on the factors, on other factors like noise, completeness, richness of the data. The remaining 35% belongs to human perception or common sense. As already mentioned before, a rule-based pre-processing and post-processing based on pre-knowledge of the actual data we are processing. So it is not on the general data, it's on the data we are processing at present. So that can provide another 5%. But the general rule of thumb is, in this case, you won't be able to achieve more than 70% using machine learning.
AI doesn't have the ability to just kind of go outside the bounds of that and put things together based on other domains or areas of knowledge or data or something like that. It's very much dependent on the domain and the data that it's using related to that domain at any given time for any given task.
So the remaining 30% has to be covered in 3 more consequent steps, which is beyond machine learning, of course. So the step number 1 is conversion of raw clusters into duplicate groups by polishing. So polishing includes merge, remerge, split, etc. And then step number 2 is transformation of duplicates into mergeable states to prepare for golden record management. And step number 3 is the final merge operation to achieve the golden record. So as you can see, these 3 steps are beyond the scope of core clustering or machine learning, since it is not purely driven by similarity. These are driven by additional factors and rules which core clustering has no clue about. This is where rule-based paradigm and UI automation comes in rescue, which represents a mix of manual and automated mechanisms driven by human interaction. So let us quickly summarize in 2 bullets whatever we have observed till this point. So bullet number 1, the first part of deduplication consists of clustering. The clustering is an accelerator, and it can accelerate the deduplication process by only 70%. It leaves 30% to manual or automated human intervention. Clustering is only a means to an end. It is an accelerator to achieve deduplication faster. Clustering should be treated as a recommendation service and should not be treated as the final deduplication state transformer. Okay, so the bullet number 2, by virtue of opinion poll, it is already known that there is 30% more stuff to be accomplished downstream based on human intervention. So this is where rule-based automation and UI automation will play a major role to accomplish the remaining 30% faster. The output from core clustering can be polished here in 3 more steps as mentioned before, okay, to finally transform them into mergeable state. So these phases are driven by additional factors and rules which the core clustering has no clue about. Okay, so let us also delve a little bit into the UI automation part, which kicks off after core clustering, though it is beyond the scope of machine learning. It's important to understand that it is practically not possible to identify and resolve the full 30% in one go. It is an iterative process. One needs to prioritize which ones are more business critical and which ones can be done later or need not be done at all. Okay, so few examples are provided below. So example 1, so let us talk about the case where first name and last name might have got swapped. This might have caused few records to land in different clusters. Okay, so in the polishing phase, few business rules can be applied to club these records under same cluster. It's an exception and it can be handled both before or after the machine learning block. Note that in the case of ClientX, there are 355 such swap scenarios from the 200k records they provided, which is only 0.12%. So we're still left with 29.87% issues. Okay, example 2. So let us talk about another case where middle name is present or absent in the name fields. So this also might have caused potential duplicates to land in different clusters. Okay, just because of this difference, right? The middle name. The percentage of such records is 0.04%. Very less. But once we resolve such cases on top of the previous step, I mean the first name last name swap, we are still left with 29.82% issues to be resolved by UI automation and human intervention. So let us add one more very important example. The third example, it's a common scenario originated from ambiguity due to missing fields, fields containing very less information, etc., which might have caused same record to belong to multiple potential clusters. So this is also known as multi-parent scenario. So ambiguity is another tough problem in machine learning. It again needs thousands of variables. The only way of resolving this is by applying local rules to ensure that the records fall under lesser number of clusters or one cluster. One record should not belong to two clusters, something like that. Or one record should not belong into 5 clusters, they should belong to 2 clusters, at least. So we are minimizing the whole effect. To tell the truth, this cannot be fully handled even in rule-based automation, since a rigid constraint can cause false positives, which is more dangerous than not doing it. In fact, this is an ideal case where we might need final manual intervention and approval. Based on sampling study on client text data, such cases comprise of another 3%. Assuming this also has been achieved, we are still left with 27% issues to be resolved via UI automation. So you can easily understand that effectively with all these 3 steps together, we have only achieved 10% of the 30%. In other words, 90% of the 30% is still pending. So we cannot pull the trigger for auto-merge yet, unless we can declare that 10% is enough for the time being. So now it will be easy to understand why a company like Dedupe.io was created in the first place, and why they themselves claimed that their own Dedupe library is insufficient. They stressed on this point in their official page as well. They claim that the remaining 30% of the deduplication can only be achieved with UI automation, and by applying additional business rules based on priority and criticality, which is purely driven by human and not machine. Also, few local rules should be applied only on a small portion of records and not on the full dataset to prevent corruption of existing good clusters. This is the main reason why such logic should be kept away from core cluster. Thank you everyone. So I'll come back with more details in the next video. Thanks everyone.